Hello everyone, welcome to my kitchen. My name is Michael and I've got a nice stock pot here full of chicken stock that I've made, and I've kept that on the stove keeping it warm. I wanted to show you what that looks like. That is some beautiful chicken stock. Look at that, how nice and colorful it is. It's got a wonderful taste. So I've got a little bit more than I need for my recipes that I'm going to be making this week. And you can freeze this. If you're not going to be able to use it within 3 or 4 days of making it, you can freeze it. Or I'm going to show you today how to pressure can it, so make it shelf stable, and that way that'll free up some space in your freezer for something else, and you can put this on the can shelf, and whenever you need it you can pull it off and put it into your recipes. So I'm going to put this back on the stove. I'm going to keep this warm, and I'm going to come back and we're going to start the canning process, and I'll show you what we're going to do first. So I've got my new Presto canner here, and this thing really takes the guesswork out of canning. I'll put in the description box below, if you've got a traditional canner, the weighted weights and the pressure that you'll need for that if you're using a traditional one. This one takes the guesswork out of all of that. It's all electronic and digital and does everything for you. You don't even have to really think. You just push a few buttons and move on to the next step. So this is really nice how this one works. So I've got 5 quart jars here. I'm going to put mine in quart jars, but you can use pint jars if you don't want to put as much, but I've got quite a bit of it. I'm going to be using quart jars, and usually when you're making a stock and you're putting it into recipes, it's going to call for at least a quart, and you can use that to cook rice, in your soups, in your stews, whatever you would put water in. You can definitely put in a stock to make it a little bit more flavorful. So the first thing we're going to do is I've got my water in my canner here, and I've got it up to the line. So if you're using a weighted canner, it would be the same thing. There's a line in there. Follow your manufacturer's issuance of your pressure canner that you've got, and fill the water up inside of it there. So this one has a line in it. I've got this one filled up. Now I'm going to take my jars to the sink and fill those up with water, about halfway to 3/4 on those, and you'll do the same thing. And we're going to put our jars in our can, and we're going to warm those up, because we want warm jars with warm stock. You don't want to put your warm stock in a cold jar, because you could shock it and it could crack on you. You definitely don't want to do that if you've got hot stock. You don't want that all over you. You could get yourself hurt or hurt somebody. So we want to warm up our jars. We want to keep our stock warm, and I'll come back and I'll show you what we're going to do. All right, I've got one of my jars filled up now, and I'm just going to take that and I'm going to put that down into the canner. The canner that I've got here will take 5 of these regular mouth jars, and I'm going to go ahead and fill the other 4 up. All right, this is my last jar. I've got it filled up now halfway, and I'm going to go ahead and drop that into the canner. And at that point, if you've got a traditional canner with the heat source of a stove, you can go ahead and put that on the stove. You want to heat your jars up. Now with this one that I've got here, we'll look at the front of it, and it's asking me if I want a pressure can or water bath can. So we're going to pressure can these, and we're going to push the button in there. The next setting on here on this one is going to ask me how long do I want to pressure can my stock. And if you have quarts like I do, you want 25 minutes. If you've got pints, it's 20 minutes. So for the quarts that I've got, 25 minutes, pints, 20 minutes. And we'll set that time here on the front. I've got my 25 minutes in there for my quart jars, and I'm going to push that. And that's going to tell me now to warm my jars up. So I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on the top. And with this one, it's really nice. It's got the install remove, and there's a couple markings here on the front. And I've got my gasket in here where that is supposed to be. I'm going to pop that down under just like that. We're going to give this a twist. I'm going to put this down, and then I'm going to turn it back. All right, I've got my jars in there. I've got it closed up now, and it's telling me now that it's heating my jars up. So at this point, you want to heat your jars up, and we'll come back and we'll get everything ready for the canning process, because as soon as these heat up, we'll start filling our jars up. Stick with me. All right, while my jars are heating up, I've got my lids here, and I'm going to put those onto the stove and heat those just a little bit above room temperature. Back when I was learning how to can with my mom when I was little, the instructions back then was you had to boil the lids. You don't have to do that anymore. I still just kind of bring them up a little bit above room temperature just to get the process started a little bit. And with your lids, you only want to use those once. You can't use those again. Once you put those on there and it seals it down, it is a one-time only thing. So when you get ready to take it off to use your broth, this part gets thrown into the trash can. Now the rings, you can use those again as long as they look good. If I see any rust on these, I throw these away, but these can be reused over and over and over again until they get to the point where they just don't look good, or they're bent or rusted. Then I would throw those out. They're relatively cheap with the lids there that you can buy those really cheaply. And then they sell these by themselves, so you don't have to keep buying the rings over and over again. I'm gonna go ahead and put these on the stove, warm this up, and I'll be right back. All right, my canner just went off and told me now I need to fill my jars. So at this point I'm gonna take the lid off of this. And if you're using the traditional one, you can start taking your jars out and we're gonna start filling those up. Okay, I've got my lid off now. I've got my stock here ready to start filling. And I've got my jar gripper right here. You definitely want something that's gonna be able to grip the jars. Do not use tongs because this is going to be really hot. And this is built for this. So it's got a little groove here on the side that the jar, little rings around the top of the jar will fit in. If you use tongs, it could slip out and you definitely don't want that. You might have a broken jar and you might have your stock all over the place and it could be really hot and dangerous. So get something that's going to be used for canning, and this one I'll put the link in the description box below where I got this one. So we're going to take one of our jars out. I'm going to take it to the sink and I'm going to dump the water out of it, and we're going to come back and we'll start filling these up. All right, I've got my jar now. I've got a funnel for the top of that. I'm going to push that over here to the side, and I've got me a nice deep funnel here that I'm going to use. I'm just going to give this one more last little stir just to make sure that I get everything combined into that. And I'm going to take that and we're going to fill this up to 1 inch headspace. And what that means is you want to leave an inch from the top of the jar down to where the top of the chicken stock is going to be. And usually on these quart jars, if you have the ball ones like these, it's this big round ring on the bottom here. So we're going to fill our jar up until we get to that. All right, I've got my jar filled up now. Now if you fill your jar up, what we want to do, we want to make sure there's not any bubbles around on the side. And you can take a bubbling tool, this is what this is here, and run it around the sides if you see any bubbles around the sides of the jar. I don't see any bubbles on mine, and the reason we're doing that is we want to keep that inch head space at the top. If any of those bubbles come up after the processing starts, you might have a different headspace on it than what we're supposed to have. So this tool here is a measuring tool on the other side, and each one of these markings is 1/4 of an inch. So you can put that on the side of the jar, and when you get down to where the 1 inch is, the tip of it should touch right where the stock is at, and you know you've got your 1 inch for your headspace. Now we're going to take a paper towel here, and I've got some vinegar. I've just got some white vinegar here. I'm going to take that and I'm going to grab one of my pot holders here, because this jar is really hot now from that stock and from that jar when we heated it up. And I'm just going to hold it and I'm going to wipe the top of the jar off. And the reason I'm doing that is because there's fat in the stock, and we definitely don't want anything that's going to impede that lid from sealing on the top of that. So just give it a good wipe. And it's also an opportunity for you to check to make sure there's no cracks or chips on the top of the jar. So I've got that clean now. I'll set that to the side. Now I've got a magnetic tool here, and I'm going to grab one of my lids, and I'm going to put that right on the center of the top of the jar. You'll take one of your rings. I'm going to grab a hold of the jar on the side, and we're going to put that on until it stops turning. That's where it stopped. Now we want this to be fingertip tight. What that means is you want to grab it and just give it a little twist until it stops on its own. You don't want to wrench down on the top of it, because we want that air to escape out of there, because that's what's going to make this process when we pressure can this. So now this can go back into the canner. We'll take my jar lifter that I've got here, and we're going to set that right back into that canner just like that. I'm going to grab another jar and I fill them up, and I'll let you know how many I get. I got my jars filled up now, and I got 5 of those, and I put those into the canner, and I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on it now, and we're going to close this up. If you've got a traditional one, you'll do the same thing. You'll go ahead and close it up, and now we're going to vent it. So it needs to come to steam. I'm going to go ahead and push the button on the front, and the front of this pressure canner says heat. So what it's doing now is heating up the water and the jars inside, and it's going to start to vent the pressure canner. So steam will start coming out of this port here, and it's going to come out of this relief lock over here on this well. When this comes up to a temperature and it starts steam coming out of it, at that point you want to vent it for 10 minutes. And what that's going to do is let the air come out of it. This one's going to do it automatically. So if you've got one traditional one that you use on the stove, once the steam starts coming out of it at a really fast pace, you'll set your timer for 10 minutes. This one's going to do it automatically and start counting down. We still haven't put this on there yet. We've still got that setting here. We're going to wait for this to vent, and we'll come back and move on to the next step. All right, my canner just went off, and it told me to put the regulator on. So it's got now going to start the timer down for 25 minutes. So once yours has vented, if you've got one of the traditional ones, then you'll put your regulator on it, and one of this pressure relief valve is going to pop up here like mine just did, which is going to prevent you from opening this up. So once that pops up, it comes up to temperature. Your timer is now set for 25 minutes. I'll come back and show you what's going to happen once the timer goes off. Stick with me. I'm back, and the timer just went off on my canner, telling me now that it is cooling down. So at this point, when your timer goes off on that, you'll turn your power source off if you're using one that's stovetop. If you've got one like I am here, just leave it alone. It'll cool down on its own, and it will tell you when it's time that you can open it. You won't be able to open this one because the valve is still up over here on the side. So just let it cool down, and you'll do the same for yours. Do not take that regulator off. Whatever you do, leave that on there until it has cooled down. So I'll come back and I'll show you what's going to happen after it's cooled down. I am back, and the timer just went off on my pressure canner here, and it does say everything is safe to open up, and the little pressure valve here on the top has released itself, so you can pull the regulator off. And then I'm going to open up the canner here and take out my jars. We want to be careful when we're opening this up. We don't want to get a face full of steam. All right, that's looking good. Let me put this away and I'll come back and we'll take our jars out. All right, I'm going to take my jars out here, and when you lift those up, just make sure you lift them straight up and down because they are still trying to seal, and we don't want to disturb the lids on those until they get completely sealed up. So I'm going to have a little bit of fat or flavor in mine. I did not take that out of my stock. Oh, and you'll hear here that my jars are, lids are compressing down on those. So that is a good sign that we've got a potentially good seal on that. So I'm going to go ahead and take the other jars out. Now that I've got those removed, I'm going to let those sit here on the counter overnight for 12 to 24 hours. That way these will continue to seal down on that, and we'll come back and we'll take a look at it. You want to put these someplace that prying hands won't be touching these, because these got up to 240 degrees, at least a minimum for that. So these are extremely hot, and you can see here on the side that we've still got some bubbling going on those. So definitely put those somewhere where we're not going to be touching those jars or having somebody else touch them and could get hurt. Now, I did not pull the fat out of mine, so we might see a little bit of residual fat here on the sides, and that's going to be normal. As this cools down, that fat solid will come to the top, and we'll take a look at that after these have cooled down, and we'll move on to the next and last step. I am back, and my jars have cooled down now, and let's check to see if we've got a good seal on those. We've got some pretty stock, and that grease that we've got in there, if you don't want that in there, you can definitely take that out before you put those in the can, or you want to put it in the refrigerator, let it cool down, and that grease will come to the top and solidify. But the grease is flavor, so I don't take it out of mine. So if you don't like the way that looks like that, definitely you can do that beforehand. I like the flavor that it comes with it, so if you see that in yours and you're wondering what it is, that's just the fat from the chicken of where that is. So we've got a nice stock on that, and the rings just come off nicely on the top. You want to pick it up just to make sure that it's sealed. You definitely don't want to put the canned goods on the shelf with the rings on them. And the reason we want to do that is first we're checking to make sure we've got a good seal, and we do. And the second reason is if for some reason the seal breaks 6-7 months down the road, and there might be enough pressure on that ring to push that back down on there. And at that point, your food's been exposed to the elements which could have mold or bacteria in it, and we definitely don't want that. So remove the rings. Do not store these on the can shelf with the rings on them. And check to make sure that you've got good seals on all of them. I've got good seals on mine, and these are ready to go now. Now, if you pull the rings off of them and you find one that is not sealed within that first 24 hours, then definitely you can use that one. Put that in the refrigerator and use that one. That one is still good to go. But like I said earlier, if you find one on the can shelf that the seals come loose on it 6-8 months down the road, that one goes into the trash. You do not eat that one. That one gets thrown away. So I've got some really pretty stock here. This looks like it's going to make some nice stock for some chicken soup or some stews and things. Definitely give this a try, and let me know in the comment section how yours turns out. If you like this content, maybe you might consider giving me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And while you're at it, check out one of these other 2 videos over here on the side. You might find something else you like. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave me a comment. I definitely want to know how your canned chicken stock turns out. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye now.